Hey, howdy. So this session actually serves two different purposes. For one, I kind of just want to play some Tuki. But beyond that, I'm planning ahead a little bit. I'm taking advantage of the break that I had when I didn't upload content for a while, because if you noticed, this is episode 299. Meaning episode 300 is right around the corner. And I was thinking, because, you know, there's that thing tomorrow, that big tour that may or may not lead to the introduction of a new fan game to YNO. Also, I kind of want to do the dailies as well. Green Neon World, Fox Temple. Okay. I have one of two plans. It depends on what this new game is, or if there even is a new game. Depending on what that game is, and I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to put undue pressure on specific creators. There is a certain game that comes to mind, and if it were to come out, then episode 300 would probably be several hours of me trying it out. If, however, if it is a new game and it's not that game that I'm thinking of, then I still kind of want to dedicate some time to playing that new game and also playing Over Somnia and Yume Tsushima. Because I still haven't gotten around to freaking playing them yet, and I've been meaning to. But I finally was able to scare up some time where I'm not deathly busy all the time. It's like, God forbid I actually have free time. That's more than like an hour separated out. Let me go to Fox Temple. After that, I kind of just... I want to go to a deep location. Like, I had to stop myself from immediately rushing into the lavender water... not lavender waters, to the water locations. But I've been chilling. I've been enjoying the absolute myriad of indie game announcements that have been happening recently that have been made me very, very happy. Where do I go? Where even is Fox Temple? There's Rainbow Reef. Ah, there you are. Oh god, right, it puts you all the way up here. But indie game fans have been eaten well. Like, the one that comes to mind most recently is Anton Blast getting an announcement for a release date, which has me super, super, super excited. Now, if you've never heard of Anton Blast, it's sort of... I don't know how best to describe it without also referencing Pizza Tower, which feels a little disingenuous. Because the devs of the two games are good friends. and they were sort of developed almost as sister games. I think it's this star? It is this star. Oh, I forgot how cute this place is. Aww, the little foxes. I swear these weren't here before. There's also supposedly a way that you can enter this, but there's a... So it's apparently involved in getting the Shadow Ninetales mask, if I've heard correctly. There's like a... not necessarily an Innocent Dream level puzzle involved, but there definitely is a puzzle to get access. But how to describe Anton Blast? Anton Blast is basically... it is like a combination of... I don't even know. Spring? Yeah, spring. Oh, that's cute. It's like a combination of Wario Land and Crash Bandicoot. It maintains the sort of greed and constant rage of Wario Land, but it has a bit more... like, Pizza Tower is a bit more about the frantic speed, and everything's built around going fast. Everything is built around fast-paced gameplay, fast-paced level design, fast-paced everything. Anton Blast is a bit more of a collect-a-thon. And they finally announced a release date, and it's November 16th, 17th, I don't remember for certain. But it has me very excited. And the same people, Summit Sphere, the same people that are making Anton Blast are also the same people who published Annalyn on the Nintendo Switch, which is adorable. I freaking love Annalyn, so I'm glad I was able to find a connection there. Oh, right, this is where the big fish is, right? Am I thinking of the right place? No, this is... oh, this is Gemstone Cave. Right. I remember this place. All the music along this path is so damn good. What other indie games? Hades 2 the technical test for Hades 2 is underway and eventually segueing into early access. That seems awesome. The footage that I've seen seems like it's going to be a really, really good game. As if there was any doubt, it's Supergiant. Look, whether you got here before Hades or after Hades, Supergiant is a incredibly skilled developer. Their games can be a little bizarre, but they're always going to be good. In fact, I'm kind of sad that Hades was my first experience with Supergiant, because they've made some great stuff. They've made some weird experimental stuff. Because obviously the game that they're known for is Bastion, if not Hades. And if you've seen footage of Bastion, you'll know that like all of their games have that signature Supergiant Games style. There's that, there's Transistor, which I've never played or honestly seen any gameplay footage of. And then there's Pyre, which is apparently basically a basketball game. It's really strange. I think it's considered to be one of the lessers of Supergiant's catalog, but that's not to say that it's bad at all. Because look, when your competition is Hades and Bastion, it's kind of hard to measure up to that. But what else we got? Still no news on Silk Song, but I wasn't super invested in Silk Song to begin with, so I don't really care. I just wish that the army of teenagers would stop bombarding every possible indie game comment section, live feed, and various outlet of media with Where Silk Song. Learn to have patience, you'll live longer. Or like, here's a thought. I know this is the classic response. Here's a thought. Go play different games. Go play different games that are like Hollow Knight, like Ori. Or if Ori's not really your speed, there's so many games that Hollow Knight inspired or are of a similar ilk or are also just indie games that are also good. Like, you've got a lot of options. Part of the joy of, well, frankly, part of the joy of being alive in the year 2024 is that there's just a lot of indie games. And a lot of non-indie games, frankly. There's just a lot of options for stuff that you can play. But those kind of people always bug me, the rip-off people. And maybe it's a little bit, there's a little bit of relevancy here because I'm playing Yumituki, which itself is a spiritual successor to Yuminiki. And also because, around the time that Undertale came out, there were a bunch of people who started playing Off and Yuminiki, and their first snap reaction was, "Oh, this is just a rip-off of Undertale." It's the same similar kind of thing as Terraria and Minecraft, despite being really, really close together. By the way, I love this view. I just wish the screen panned up like it did in Tomb of Velides. But oh my god, this area is amazing. But it's like the very first thing you should look at before saying anything of the sort is release dates and when they started production. And if those match up, and if those don't match, you have no business saying what you're about to say. But whatever. I can be salty at my imaginary young straw man later. For now, I went the wrong way. This is Solstice Forest, not Forest Beer. I'm in the mood for a Lavender Waters expedition today. Which means a library. Where even is the library? There you are. Also, while I'm down here, there's apparently a challenge for doing all of the possible children's books. I think this is the last one, so I should get the achievement unless I've already done this one before. I adore this. It's just so freaking cute. I forget who did that. I believe it was Kong, but whoever made that set of worlds. genuinely the best, like, package of worlds that I've ever seen in 2K. Because there are some worlds that are incredible on their own, but the combination of Board Game Islands and Bishop Cathedral... Bishop Cathedral was hard, like, don't get me wrong. It was very, very difficult to make it through. But the sheer style of it all was so good. I didn't mind that it was a super tough puzzle because it was just oozing with the author's style. Waiting with bated breath for the next update from Kong, because I'm sure it's going to be just as good, if not better. Whee! I always like to imagine just like the sound of, like, you know, that, like, stock cartoon sound of, like, someone flying off screen and there's, like, dishes clattering and a cat yelps. It's always the sound that comes to mind when Urasuki just goes zooming in and out of view. Man, more stuff needs to use stock sounds. It's the thing that I really enjoyed about the I mean, coming back to Anton Blast, the thing I really enjoyed about watching the trailer for it, they were not afraid to use the most stock sound effects they could find, and it is great. I am a sucker for stock sounds used tastefully. Makes my monkey brain go ook ook when I hear a sound and go, oh my... when I hear a sound and go, oh my god, I recognize it. If you want more proof of that, just watch the video where I play Super Cow, and every time for the first, like, 10 minutes, every time a major sound plays, I have a moment of, like, oh my god, wait. I recognize this sound. But there are some great stock sounds that get tossed around, and also some rare ones, which I notice every once in a while, that are just fun to find. Like, the ones that come to mind is, because I could talk about JoJo, because, funny thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that it uses a ton of stock sounds. They're used in clever ways, like for instance, the sound of punching, the sound of a stand punching is usually some sort of stock gun, like gun fire sound. But the one that was really funny most recently was, again, thinking about Anton Blast. I was watching gameplay of it, and whenever you do a ground pound, it plays like this super stock, like, jet plane sound effect, and it made me crack up every time I heard it. There's that, and, like, another one that comes to mind that was really fun was in oh, what the hell is the name of the level? From Pizza Tower, like refrigerator, or something stupid like that. There's a part of the level, because it's like ice freezer, vaguely Christmas themed. Santa Claus shows up at one point, and he does, like, an evil laugh, and it is the same stock evil laugh sound effect that's used in Little Big Planet. And as soon as I was playing it with my brother, and as soon as we heard it, we were like, oh my god. Immediately, both of us locked in and instantly recognized it. And I mean, you'd think off of that I'd be more receptive to the sort of like, I don't even know how to describe these kinds of YouTube videos that are just like full of meme sounds. You'd think that I'd latch onto those a lot more, but I really don't. Because it's always the same, like, 5 or 6 sound effects. There's an art to it, and a lot of the people who do that kind of stuff kind of just don't really have the finesse for it. It's like they look, before a certain point, Vine booms are inherently funny. But they can only get you so far. Like, no amount of Vine Boom or Hanna-Barbera bonk sound effect or any number of Vine or TikTok meme sound effects will get you so far. Because there's an element of comedic timing to it, and an element of, using sounds that you haven't heard 100 times already. And I know, like, big talk coming from the person who's never finished an edited video in their life, but there's a way to do it properly, and some people do it properly. They're rare, but they do it. Because, I mean, that's the thing about comedy in general that's kind of interesting, is that it's not hard to make something funny, but it is really hard to make something stay funny. It's like being able to watch something 100 times and still find it funny, and then coming back to it months later and rewatching it and making you laugh just as hard as the first time. That's rare. Hello there. Also, we're coming up on that final concert, and I'm really sad because, it's our final concert, and presumably, I think I said this before, unless there's some sort of like a cappella thing that I can do, because I am going to graduate school. Unless there's some sort of weird a cappella thing that I could do off to the side in grad school, it is the last time that I will ever sing in a school-based choir. That's insane. I've done this shit since elementary school. This is a quite a big change. I'm not gonna say I can't live without it because, COVID. I've already proven that I can live without it. But I'm gonna miss it, I really am. Chorus was fun. It was fun, and it was also so necessary for me personally, because, look, I'm a computer science major, transferring in from out of state, and transferring into a place where half of the people know each other from high school and the other half are exchange students. It's a miracle I made more than like 5 friends. Somehow I did. There's a little pocket of people that I would consider to be friends, but most of the friends that I made in college have been from chorus. If not for that, I probably would have just sat in my room all 4 years and done nothing productive besides class. Because literally, who else is there to talk to? It's computer science. Everyone there is either has their own little clique of friends that they like to talk with, or have crippling social anxiety and don't like talking with people. And I also have social anxiety, but that doesn't mean I like talking. That doesn't mean I don't like talking with people. Because that's kind of it almost feels like a misconception. It's like, just because I have social anxiety doesn't mean it doesn't mean I dislike social situations. It's just that I prefer not to be in social situations. But if I push myself to be in one, I'm probably gonna have a good time. It's just, anxiety's a bastard. I'm sure some of y'all know how that is. I'm still working on taming that bastard. I'll get there eventually. But I'm making headway. Or I suppose I would have made a significant amount of headway, but this is the last year that I'm going to be up here where I am in college, and then I'm going back home to a different set of people, and I'm going to have to basically start all over again, even though I'm going to be closer to where I normally live. Because I will always vouch for the Southeast as being full of some very, very nice people. But it's not like you can just waltz in and insert yourself into a friend group and immediately get chummy with people. At least that's not really how it works for me. It's a process. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. And hey, I still have the internet. I still have people to talk with online, right? So I'll always have someone to talk to. And if not, I can always just talk out loud, like I'm doing right now. I know barely anyone watches this far in, but if you have made it this far in, thanks. Oh god. I can hear my computer roaring. You should have heard it earlier. Earlier I was playing TF2. I was like testing it out because they recently put out an update for 64-bit support. And it runs like ever so slightly smoother, but Valve games do this fun thing where they bring your computer to its knees no matter how good it is. I could have roasted almonds off of with how hot that fan was getting. Could have roasted some almonds right next to my computer. I'm surprised it didn't leave freaking scorch marks on the desk. It was insane. My old computer was like that too, but I think that's just because I never actually opened it up and like cleaned out the fan, and like cleaned out the fan, cleaned out the keyboard. Because I had it. It had been a hand-me-down from my brother. And I think between the two of us, we'd had it for probably like 5 years. And I don't think we ever cleaned out the fans, so it was probably struggling down there. I don't know, I'm rambling. That's about all I got for now, though. Tomorrow, we embark on what may or may not be collective unconscious. Not sure. Crossing my fingers. Thanks so much for watching.